Hey guys, so this section is going to be talking about climatograms. It's not going to be too long of a section, but it is important that we kind of get the main idea of what we're trying to get here. So with this climatogram, first question is read the climatogram above. Predict what kind of ecosystem would be based on the temperature and the rainfall. So here's how you read the temperature and the rainfall one more time. To read the temperature, you take the line that's on the top and you compare it to the right side, The line on the top is compared to the right side. To get the rainfall, you take the bars on the bottom and compare them to the left side. Remember, we have two y-axes in this case. So let's look at the temperature. The lowest point in my temperature is going to be coming up around here. And that's going to be around 18 degrees Celsius. And my highest one is going to be around 28 degrees Celsius. So that's actually pretty hot. In case you guys were not aware, that's a pretty hot temperature. So whenever we do these kind of things, you can always try to find the temperature by converting. So if I was to convert right now from Celsius to Fahrenheit, then all I would have to do is multiply it by about 2. I have to multiply it by 9 divided by 5 plus 32 degrees. So 18 degrees Celsius would be around 64 and 28 would be around 82, which is a pretty reasonable number. I know that that's a lot of math, but the main thing I want you to get across is this is a relatively hot environment. But then we look at the bottom. We look at the rain. It can go anywhere from the bottom line, which is 1, to the top line, which is about 3 centimeters of rain. That's not actually very much rain. So this is a kind of hot environment with very little rain. So what kind of ecosystem is very little rain and kind of hot? Okay, well, in this case, what comes to mind is a desert, and this is what this would be. It would be a desert. Now, I know that I told you to how to do the math. Remember, the main thing you want to look at right now and to predict is look at the temperature, see if it's kind of high. If it's high or if it's low, and then look at the rain. And using those two things, we can predict what we're going to be getting. I know that my temperature is pretty high. I know that my rainfall is pretty low. If an area doesn't have a lot of rain, it's going to be a very dry place. And dry and hot, first thing that came to my mind was desert. Now, let's keep going down. We know that temperature and rainfall shape the environment for ecosystems. What do you believe would shape the environment for an aquatic ecosystem? Think about the abiotic factors that affect which organisms can live in an aquatic ecosystem. Name 3 and explain your choice. So right up here, this was a terrestrial ecosystem. This was a land-based ecosystem. So what we determined was rainfall and temperature. Those two things are abiotic. They're non-living factors. But now we're going to do an aquatic environment. So what affects what kind of animals can live there in an aquatic environment? Well, one of the things that comes to mind is salinity. That's how salty the water is, salinity. Another thing that comes to my mind is how deep the water is. Yeah, how deep the water is, because I don't think a whale could live in a pond. So the water depth is one of those things. And then the third thing that comes to my mind personally is currents. So different animals live in a lake than if you were to be living in the ocean. Because remember, in the ocean, we have currents, and these are aquatic environments that we're looking at. So these are abiotic factors. But the reason that I brought this aquatic question into this review is because I want you to realize that it doesn't matter if it's aquatic or if it's terrestrial. Our environments are shaped by the abiotic factors, by the non-living things. Non-living things can determine how the ecosystem is going to look. That's what I want to get across to you guys with this. Now, the last one. Ecosystem services are things that are provided by the ecosystem that humans can benefit from. Name one ecosystem service from the desert, one from the rainforest, and one from the Antarctic. Okay, so if we were to be looking at these, an ecosystem service for the desert, well, it's dry and it's hot. Oh, but you know what it does have? You know what we do have a lot of in deserts? We have minerals, natural minerals that have been concentrated because they haven't gone away. And if you're thinking to me, Mister, you're crazy, how would we know that? Well, just start using the context clues. Think about it. It's dry. Any soil that's there is going to stay there for a very long time. But again, every ecosystem can offer many things. That's just one of the things a desert can offer. Now let's look at a rainforest. What can a rainforest offer? Well, wow, it's really wet. There's a lot of trees, bunch of different trees, different animals. Oh, they could offer food because of all the different animals or the different fruit that are in the rainforest. They could also offer materials because of all the trees. We could chop those trees down for materials. That's another service that we can get from there. What about the Antarctic? Icy cold. What could be there? What could be there? All I see is ice and then like water. Whoa, 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 whoa. Water? Water. Water. What's in the water? What's in the water that can help humans? What is in located inside the water that we could use, that we use all the time? Munch, munch, munch. Oh, food, fish. Fish are in the water. That's one of the things that we can get from the Antarctic. There are fishermen in the Antarctic that go there specifically to fish the fish that are there. And again, ecosystem services, there are many, many of them. So don't be just held down with this if you didn't write the ones that I said. There are lots of services that the ecosystems can provide for humans. But anyway, guys, with that being said, that is the end of this section. Remember, sorry, what I want you to be able to do is to predict the kind of ecosystem that we have based off of a climatogram. In this one, we determined it was a desert because of the fact that it was hot and very dry. So you should be able to make predictions just by looking at the climatogram. And again, temperature, you take the line, you compare it to the right. Rain, you take the bars, you compare them to the left. The other thing that I want you to do, guys, is to always remember that, sorry, ecosystems are shaped by their abiotic factors. So the non living things shape the ecosystem. And on top of that, all our ecosystems provide something for us. Anyway, guys, that is it for this section. I will see you in the next one, which should be the last section. Bye, guys.